Cartel Bo from Houston's Lakewood area refers to his neighborhood as Murderwood. The union fired back on Facebook saying no one in Houston calls Lakewood Murderwood.
Picture this. A rapper confidently saying his neighborhood is the most dangerous spot in Houston, and then real law enforcement jumps online and completely shuts that down. This isn't fiction, it actually happened. A Houston police union, real officers with badges and authority, took time to go on social media and directly call out Cartel Bo, saying his image doesn't match reality. According to them, the area he branded as Murderwood, the one he built his whole reputation on, has only seen 2 homicide cases. Just 2. Not dozens, not hundreds, 2. Now here's where it flips. Instead of backing down and letting it slide, Cartel Bo and his lawyer pushed right back. They went on live TV and revealed they're taking legal action against the police, accusing them of exposing his private home address to the public. That changes everything. This isn't just online talk anymore, it's a real legal clash. We're looking at a Houston artist going head-to-head with the same authorities who reportedly raided his video shoot, got him arrested, and are now being accused of putting his safety at risk by releasing personal info. This whole situation is layered, complicated, and intense. Cartel Bo's story includes time behind bars, feds reportedly breaking down his music videos frame by frame, and even removing his own ankle monitor while still staying active in the scene. Now he's stepping into a legal battle with the same system that's been watching him. To really understand how it got here, you've got to know who he is at the core. Because if the name Cartel Bo doesn't ring a bell yet, you might miss just how serious and unexpected this situation really is. His real name is Warren Trail Brown II. Born and raised in Houston, Texas, he's known for moving with ties to the 52 Hoover Crips, and no, that's not just for a rap image, we'll get into that in a second. Early on, Cartel Bo wasn't widely known outside Houston. He was grinding like many local artists, uploading videos to YouTube, dropping tracks on WorldStar, and slowly building a name in the city. Songs like Up and I Shoot First started getting traction. He had the energy, the reputation, and strong connections, including a link with Maxo Cream, a major and respected figure in Houston's rap scene. But here's what really stood out. Cartel Bo's music didn't feel like just entertainment. It came off like a direct window into a real lifestyle. Every line painted vivid pictures of specific streets, real experiences, and a way of living most people never see up close. And that's exactly what started catching the attention of authorities. Because when music mirrors real-life situations too closely, that line between art and evidence can get dangerously thin. By 2018, that line wasn't just thin, it was nearly gone. This is where things really start heating up. In March 2018, Cartel Bo and Maxo Cream linked up to shoot a video for their track, Hoova. And if you know anything about Houston videos at the time, you know they kept it raw and authentic. No big studio tricks, no staged sets, no fake backdrops. Everything was filmed in real locations tied to their everyday environment. So when they picked Lakewood Park in Houston for the shoot, they showed up in a major way, bringing a strong presence that instantly turned heads. We're talking a large group, around 22 individuals reportedly connected to the 52 Hoover Crips, all gathered on a basketball court right next to Hilliard Elementary School, and all of it captured on camera. Reports say multiple real firearms were visible during that shoot, right there in a public space near a school, which immediately raised serious concern. Nearby residents saw what was happening and contacted authorities. When officers arrived, everything shifted fast. Most of the group quickly cleared out, leaving the scene behind, but what remained became a major issue. Around a dozen real firearms were reportedly recovered at the location, with some flagged as stolen, according to reports. Even with all that, the video still dropped on WorldStar Hip Hop and it took off. Millions of views, massive attention, and eyes everywhere. But that attention didn't just come from fans. Authorities were watching too. Now they had something powerful, a clear visual record. Agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, reportedly analyzed that video in detail, going frame by frame. They zoomed in, identified individuals, tracked what was shown, and started connecting it to existing records. That's when things got serious for Cartel Bo. As someone with a prior felony conviction, he's legally restricted from being around firearms. But in that widely viewed video, he was allegedly seen holding multiple rifles. Cartel Bo ended up facing serious charges, including unlawful possession of firearms as a convicted felon. On top of that, reports say he picked up another charge tied to an incident involving a police officer during transport. He was taken into custody, given a bond, and later released under strict conditions, including wearing an ankle monitor while awaiting trial. Now here's another sharp turn. While out on bond with that court-ordered tracking device, he reportedly removed the ankle monitor and vanished. Just like that. No signal, no trace, gone. That move alone is a major violation, and it instantly escalated the situation. It showed he wasn't planning to sit back and wait for the legal process to play out. He made a bold move that brought even more attention his way. But situations like that don't just disappear. Authorities stayed on it and eventually located him again. When everything was settled in court, Cartel Bo pled guilty to the firearm-related charge tied to his status. He was facing several years behind bars and ended up serving time. In total, 11 out of around 20 individuals connected to that Hoover video situation were ultimately convicted. That's a huge number, all tied back to one video that captured way more than it probably should have. Now, fast forward to 2024 and things shift again. Cartel Bo is released and steps right back into the spotlight, this time on a bigger stage. He signs with Warner Records, one of the most powerful labels in the industry, and drops a project titled Life After the Feds, It Get Better. Even that title speaks volumes. It reflects everything he's been through and the mindset he's carrying forward. He started shaping his post-prison chapter like a comeback story, a narrative of survival, rebuilding, and pushing forward no matter what. He reconnected with Houston's rap scene, linking up with artists like Slim Thug and That Mexican OT. The momentum was building again, money coming in, fan base growing, and his image shifting into someone who went through serious struggles and came back stronger than ever. Everything was lining up until a camera crew stepped in and followed him right back to his neighborhood. That camera belonged to Tommy G, a documentary creator, and this is where things really started taking off. Tommy G released a documentary titled Murderwood, Inside Houston's Deadliest Hood. The concept was intense, stepping directly into Lakewood alongside Cartel Bo, capturing a close-up look at daily life through his perspective. The documentary felt raw and unfiltered, showing the area in a way that came off very real to viewers. It painted Lakewood as one of Houston's most high-risk and heavily talked-about neighborhoods, placing Cartel Bo right in the center of that narrative. And once it dropped, it spread fast. Over 1 million views, people everywhere tuning in, treating it like a rare inside look at a world they don't normally see. Cartel Bo's name started buzzing again, his profile rising. But he wasn't the only one paying attention. The Houston Police Officers Union was watching closely too, and they clearly didn't like what they saw. And this is where things take a serious turn. Instead of handling it quietly, the union, an official law enforcement group, decided to respond publicly. Not through paperwork, not behind closed doors, but straight onto the internet. They directly challenged Cartel Bo's image, questioning how accurate his claims really were. They pushed back hard on the whole Murderwood label, saying people in Houston don't actually call Lakewood that. Their argument was simple but direct. According to them, the area has only had 2 homicide cases, and they made it clear that doesn't match the image being promoted. That's a bold statement coming from an official source, and it didn't stop there. The union went further, bringing up Cartel Bo's current probation status and referencing multiple past legal cases tied to his record. That added even more weight to their public comments. Law enforcement was now putting his legal history and personal info in front of a massive online audience, all while questioning his credibility. That kind of public back and forth from an official police union isn't something you see every day. It raised eyebrows and got people talking fast. Cartel Bo definitely noticed, and he didn't stay quiet. He and his attorney, Carl Moore, went on Fox 26's Isaiah Factor Uncensored, a major platform in Houston, and addressed the situation head-on. They responded to everything that had been said and pushed their side into the spotlight. One of the biggest claims they made was serious. Cartel Bo said the Houston Police Department had been contacting music venues and interfering with his performances, allegedly leading to canceled shows. That's a major accusation. If proven true, it could directly impact his ability to earn income and grow his career. However, authorities strongly denied those claims, stating no such actions were taken. The police union pushed back just as hard, saying the accusations were completely false and maintaining their focus was only on correcting what they believe is a misleading narrative about the Lakewood area. According to them, they weren't targeting him personally, they were addressing how the neighborhood was being portrayed. But what really took things to another level was the claim about personal information being shared. Cartel Bo and his attorney, live on television, alleged that law enforcement leaked his private home address to the public, where he lives, where he stays day to day. That kind of claim carries weight. When it comes to safety and privacy, this situation is heavy. If you're an artist facing real-world conflicts, not just rap rivalries, and your home address ends up online, that's not just awkward, it's dangerous. Anyone with bad intentions suddenly knows exactly where you live. And in this case, the claim is law enforcement may have been behind it. That's when things shift. What began as a public feud now turns into a legal battle, and that changes everything. Cartel Bo's attorney, Carl Moore, is moving forward, alleging private residential info was shared without consent. This isn't social media chatter anymore. This is court filings, legal proceedings, and everything under oath. In law, claims like this are serious. If proven that officials knowingly released his address in a way that put him at risk, it could spark major civil rights concerns. Cases like that get attention and carry real consequences if backed by evidence. From Cartel Bo's side, this is a calculated move. Going on a major platform with legal representation isn't done lightly, especially with other legal matters ongoing. It signals his team believes this needs to be handled in court, not just debated online. Authorities haven't confirmed the allegations, but the fact that this blew up in mainstream news, sparked coverage, and provoked public responses shows this is way bigger than a typical online spat. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, it did. Recently, Cartel Bo and the mother of his child were both taken into custody in Houston. Reports say he was picked up on an active warrant while she faced charges for violating a protective order. So in the middle of this very public clash, a new legal layer enters the picture. And from the other side, situations like this are often framed as proof that enforcement and accountability are at play. That's the angle being pushed, adding another layer to an already tangled story. Here's the tricky part. These new legal issues don't erase the separate claims about private info being leaked. Both can exist simultaneously. Someone can face legal trouble while also raising serious concerns about how they're treated. That's why this story feels so tangled. There's no simple hero or villain here. It's two sides going back and forth, each with claims, receipts, and their own narrative. Zooming out, this type of clash isn't totally new. There's a history of tension between law enforcement and artists, especially when music, image, and real life collide. We've seen moments like this before. NWA, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Boosie Badass, where public persona, authority, and controversy intersect. There's a long documented pattern of prosecutors using a rapper's lyrics, image, and persona in legal cases and public debates. That's not new. But Cartel Bo's situation is different. It's unusually public. Instead of staying behind the scenes, the police union is openly challenging his credibility online. It's rare to see official voices go head-to-head with an artist over how a neighborhood is represented. And now Cartel Bo is taking legal action in response. That public back and forth keeps eyes glued. At the same time, he's under pressure from multiple angles. Probation, ongoing legal matters, a recent arrest, and a viral documentary keeping his name trending. His label, Warner Records, is watching closely, and there are claims some shows were impacted. Everything, legal challenges, public attention, career momentum, all colliding. And that raises the big question. Is his current situation shaped more by external pressure or the consequences of his own choices? That's not for the internet to decide. It will play out in court. Looking bigger, this touches hip-hop culture itself. The genre has always balanced storytelling with real-life reflection, but sometimes expression gets pulled into real-world debates, and now it's hitting its most serious phase. Once lawyers are involved, it's no longer about online claims. It's about what can be proven, what evidence exists, and what stands under court pressure. If Cartel Bo's team can show his private info was exposed in a dangerous way, it could turn into a major case. If not, focus shifts back to his legal history and past decisions. Either way, this isn't about opinions anymore. It's about facts, records, and rulings. Meanwhile, his career sits in the middle. Momentum from music, documentary buzz, and a major label colliding with legal pressure and public scrutiny. That's a tough spot for any artist. And one thing is clear, this story isn't slowing down. Between legal battles, public claims, and everything tied to his past and present, people are watching closely. The Hoover video being reviewed frame by frame, that's content crossing into legal territory. The Murderwood documentary being challenged by a police union, content turning into a public debate in real time. And the allegation of leaked personal info, if proven, it raises questions far beyond music. At the end of the day, this situation digs deep. How should artists be treated when their content reflects real environments? Where's the line between expression and scrutiny? How should authorities respond when they feel misrepresented? There are no easy answers, and this case is putting all of them in the spotlight. Cartel Bo's journey has been intense at every step. From time served, rebuilding his career, ongoing legal battles, to now a public legal fight, pressure is constant. He's out making music, connected to a major label, staying active, but facing legal challenges, public criticism, and serious claims all at once. What makes this unique is how public everything is. Nothing is behind the scenes. Every update, claim, and response plays out for everyone to see. That adds pressure on all sides. Legal outcomes and public perception both matter. Perception shifts fast. One moment fans support the comeback story, the next headlines drop and opinions swing. Social media amplifies everything. Clips, interviews, statements, spreading fast even before facts are fully sorted. Cartel Bo isn't just navigating music or legal issues anymore. He's navigating high-level visibility. Every move counts, every decision matters, and eyes are glued. Legal pressure, public attention, career momentum all collide. That makes the situation unpredictable. One thing is certain, this story isn't fading. Too many pieces are moving, too many eyes watching. A police union publicly challenging a rapper's credibility? That's rare, and it's got people talking. Whether Cartel Bo's claims about Murderwood are accurate, whether his image matches reality, or whether personal info was shared, these questions will take time and legal review. The bigger picture, an artist and a police union going back and forth publicly heading towards a courtroom, says a lot about this moment. This isn't just music, it's not just local news, it's unfolding in real time. The public is watching, the legal system is watching, and Cartel Bo is watching too. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the police crossed the line by speaking publicly like that? And do you think this lawsuit has a strong chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next.